Welcome back to Kimchi Rednecks. Today we have oranges.
Not just any orange, Chuck.
These are Jeju Hallabong oranges. Hallabong is named after the peak of Hallasan or Mount Halla in Jeju. You can't miss it. Big mountain in the middle of the island. It's pretty easy to find.
So these have a sweet, slightly tangy taste to them.
Right?
They're a type of tangerine.
Yes.
So this is a type of tangerine grown mainly in Jeju. They're known for their thick skin, which keeps the flesh in there relatively safe, so it doesn't go bad very quickly. And what else did I tell you about them?
Apparently they have a rather high sugar content.
Yes.
So that ought to be good for what we're planning.
So most of the time, if you're working with a citrus like orange, the acid level in it is going to be super high and may or may not be good for shining. But
May cause problems with your yeast.
basically the pH, we have to make sure the pH stays within balance. So our goal,
Which is going to be fun because I don't actually have a pH gauge.
yes, it's going to be real fun. So our goal is to try our best. We're going to
We're gonna zest
the orange peels.
get some of that thick, tasty orange peel.
And then we're going to take all of the white pith off of the oranges as well. So this is going to be a long process for us.
Yep, peel them and skin them.
And then we're going to put them in the pot with the sugar.
Are we gonna run them through the blender first?
I'll
or
run them through the blender.
food processor, frappe the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Then we'll cook them down with some water, and the fun part there is we have to check the specific gravity on it. So we got to mix it with water and or maybe sugar as necessary to get the right starting gravity.
In addition to this, because we know that this is high in acid content, we know that we have to use our good old friend calcium carbonate.
Tums.
And they don't have just plain Tums apparently.
We
So
couldn't find any.
we're going with the plain white one that comes in the smoothies and the orange.
Because
it
orange?
shouldn't affect any taste or flavor. They're kind of meh anyways. But at least we went with ones that were similar to what we're working with. So, Chuck, let's get started with our zesting.
Right. So,
Right.
just as a side note, real quick, besides our Jeju oranges here, we do have our standard Korean sugar and our standard, it was on sale, bottled Korean water.
So remember
That's what we're using.
when you're zesting, we want to make sure we don't get any white in there. The white is where the...
The white's the bitter part, the part
bitter
that tastes bad.
So I'm going to get us down as close as I can, and then he is going to peel. This is going to be a process. Y'all probably don't want to be here for this.
Yeah, this is going to take a minute. We're just going to cut to the next stage of interesting. We have zested and peeled.
Over 5 kilograms.
So we got roughly, I'd guesstimate, probably about 12, 15 pounds of orange here. And all this zest.
Which includes the essential oils from the orange, which means our hands are a little orange.
A little bit.
That bowl's probably going to have an orange stain in it, kind of like curry does. You want to try and get as much of this white off as possible. It's not that easy.
Yeah, once the peel comes off pretty easily, but some of the white stuff on it is on there pretty good.
So you do your best to get as much of it off.
Then we're gonna frappe this down with a little bit of water and put it on the stove and let it boil for a little bit. So this is gonna be really loud, so we'll be back.
Make sure I've mixed it.
All right, so camera switch. One of us forgot to turn it off while we were doing stuff and drain the battery, so now we're on the other camera. But here's our orange mixture all blended up. We are gonna add probably a little more water.
Taste. So that's with what, half a thing of water or not a half a thing?
Yeah, that is kind of tart.
That's very tart.
So we're gonna add probably some more water and some sugar to this. And then we shall,
Well, look at all this is the acid. You see that, right?
well, it's froth. I don't know that that's acid, but
Some of it is.
could be.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not a chemist.
I don't know. Science wasn't my topic in school. It was English.
Anyway, so like I said, we're gonna add some water, some sugar. We're gonna put this on the stove. We're gonna heat it up and let it simmer for a while. And then we're gonna test specific gravity, make sure we can get the right levels in there.
Yes.
So,
We'll
on
be
to
back.
that. All right, so as you can probably see, we are in the middle of migrating mash between buckets. We're splitting the load. We're gonna put about half in each one because between the orange and the sugar we put into it, I miscalculated and we wound up with a beginning specific gravity of about 1.13.
Those equal?
Which is, yeah, that's good enough. 1.13 is way high. that's gonna make a lot of alcohol, but it might probably be hot, so we're gonna cool it down a little bit, split it in another bucket, and water it down until we get to about our 1.6, 1.7 range.
Do they each get one or half or what?
Yeah, each get one at least. On with the science. All right, everybody. I don't know if you would call this pretty or not, but that is frappéed Hallabong oranges, sweetened up, cooked up, a little bit of calcium carbonate added to hopefully counteract some of the acid in that.
We'll test it. Since we don't have the pH, the thing to test for, we'll look tomorrow when we check the mash to see
How the yeast is
how
doing,
the yeast
basically.
is doing. If the yeast is not doing well, then that means we need to add more.
So we are about to pitch our yeast. We're using champagne yeast this time.
Actually, I think this is kind of pretty.
It looks almost like one of those old orange smoothie things.
It's not a bad color to it. I mean, it's kind of pretty. Although I do feel like that orange, I don't know, maybe it's because I zested so many oranges. I almost feel like the zest had more flavor and essence than the actual orange.
The zest had more of that distinctive flavor of the Hallabong orange.
I mean, I
and
didn't
the
taste
orange was
it,
just,
but yeah.
The orange itself is actually kind of mild. It's the zest that has most of the flavor that you think of when you think of a Hallabong orange. So we zested it. We zested the out of it.
We? There was a we in that? I thought you peeled oranges.
Okay, well, I peeled the oranges and she zested them.
I zested a lot. Let me just say, my hands are tired, dude. I might have built up some muscle in one.
So we are going to pitch some yeast in this, throw it in the holding room, and we will see how it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. We have Orange Shine, which we jarred this at 115 proof, because that's basically what it was right out of all the jars mixed together. So I stole an idea that I saw on one of the other channels I was watching. What channel was I watching?
Stilling it, still works.
It was, crap, which one was it?
Hillbilly Phil, no, hold on.
If I can remember it, I'll like put a thing to it here. But basically the guy was making a apple infused moonshine, and his idea was he just took juice, cooked the snot out of it until it was almost a syrup, and used that to flavor his shine. We did the same.
With Korean mandarin orange juice.
Korean mandarin orange juice.
From Jeju.
So this particular brand of fruit juice, they make several different flavors. They always have a number in the name. This is 210 days mandarin. Sometimes it's like 900 day aloe or 87 day prune juice, or I don't know where they get the numbers from, but it's a hilarious naming scheme. I'm sure it means something to somebody somewhere, but I just know it's pretty good fruit juice.
Big dumb Americans, it means nothing to, just that's the name.
To start off, what we're going to do, because this has been in the jar for a few days, we're going to taste this and see how rough it is. To be frank, when we put it in the jar, it was a bit rough. We went a little too heavy with the orange zest.
Okay. It was not roughed. It definitely has orange in it.
Definitely has orange in it.
Which is something we have fought with in the past, not getting enough fruit into it. And having to basically work on our infusion to get all the fruit in. You can still smell the orange. Can you still smell the orange?
Yes, I can still smell the orange. Now, the only problem with the orange that we were getting through was because we had went very heavy with the orange zest, was you weren't getting that... You need some water?
Yeah. It's Bernie.
So we weren't getting that like flesh of the orange flavor. We were getting that spicy, zesty orange peel orange flavor. It was almost pure orange oil coming through in the juice. You drank almost the whole thing.
Do you need some water?
And yep, we're still getting that. Actually, it's not quite as bad as it was.
Not as bad as it was. It's just, it's bitey right now. It's very bitey.
First thing we're going to try and do, oh yeah, by the way, I've got a jar here that's actually labeled for up to 200 mils. So we're gonna use this for math.
He's mathing.
I'm mathing. I'm gonna do this the easy way at the moment. I'm gonna get 5 mils of this. So double that would be 10. And if this is at 115, if I want to bring it down to, let's see, 100 would be 15 points, 90 would be 25.
Should we be concerned that 2 dogs ran off in the distance?
Probably.
We'll be right back with our math.
All right, so I'm using a matholator here.
Okay, that's a new one. I hadn't heard that one yet.
So at 115 proof, if we want to bring it down 25 points, we need to dilute it by 21.7%, so 20% basically. So I got 5 mils in there, so that means I need 1 milliliter of water. I know that looks ridiculously small at the moment, but we're working with small numbers and then we're going to scale up.
I was going to say, there is no way you're going to be able to prove that.
Well, I mean, I don't even know exactly how much we got in this one. I'm just at a rough guessing because this is a 2.9 liter jar. We're probably somewhere around 2.5 liters. Maybe a little less, maybe 2.25. Okay, so at 90 proof, it's still bitey. Actually, it gets a little sour on the back end too.
Well, remember, you're adding orange to it, so...
Right. Hang on, I'll be back after I matholate again. All right, so fortunately we decided to check math before we got too far, because our little jar here that has a little label on it and says that this is 200 mils is completely wrong. Because we measured it with the graduated cylinder here, and what it says is 200 milliliters is like 100 milliliters.
Oops.
I've been duped by a dollar store ingredient. I thought they was trustworthy. Anyway,
That's what you get for that.
so we've got this.
We got this down to about 95 proof.
Yeah, we're tempered down to about 95 proof. We're going to taste this real quick. And then we're going to start mixing in
Our orange concentrate.
We're going to start adding and tasting because while this is concentrated, the more of this we add, the lower it's going to make the proof. And once we add this, the hydrometer doesn't work anymore because it's got adding sugar to the solution. Anyway, so we got 240-ish mils. All right, let's start with 10. It's 20 milliliters at 200 is another 10% off. So that should bring us somewhere down into the range of 80 proof. Wow, that's nothing but orange zest.
What do you mean nothing but orange zest?
It's like orange flavored hairspray all over your tongue.
I missed the bite.
It's less bitey, it's just now it's all orange oil. I definitely need either more or less, and we can't do less, so let's go with more. So we did also add a little bit of
Just a hint of vanilla.
vanilla to this, so technically it's supposed to give it kind of a creamsicle-y flavor.
Not really, not until you add the cream.
Well, if you added cream, but...
Yeah, if you add the cream to it, then it will give it a creamsicle flavor. This is basically just giving it a hint of vanilla, which was supposed to chill the orange out just a little bit. Doesn't feel like it worked very well.
Hadn't changed the nose much any. Okay, there's a little bit of the hairspray on the back end. It turned almost into a sour orange, though.
That's very sour.
Yeah.
Like bad sour. I would not want to drink that. That's like, you know the orange concentrate cans?
Yeah.
I feel like that's worse than getting that directly from there. I feel like he thinks adding more of this is going to make it better.
Well, it's either going to make it better or it's going to make it so bad we can't drink it. That was close.
It was pretty close for me. I'm over here going, can we add maple syrup to it?
But alcohol is weird, and sometimes it's terrible, and then it's great.
I'm over here thinking, can we add maple syrup to it?
Maple syrup to orange juice?
I eat pancakes and French toast at breakfast and have maple syrup on that and drink orange juice. I don't think it would be that bad. It can't be as bad as that last one was. It's still bitter.
It's still a little bitter, but every bit of the sour and the hairspray just disappeared.
I don't think it's actually going to give us an actual reading, but...
Yeah, according to that, it thinks we're at like 40 proof now or something like that. We haven't added enough orange juice for it to be that low.
God, I hope not.
I've been trying to keep track. If I'm right, that was the third add, so that's 60 cc, so that should be off of the 75-ish, I think it was. We should be somewhere in the 60 range at the
You
moment.
want to add one more?
This is the interesting part. It's almost like alchemy. Am I going to get gold or am I going to get poison? It's about the same as last time, but I think a little smoother. There's a little bit of bite like way in the back end of it.
It's a little smoother. Still not very sweet.
I don't think this one's going to be sweet. We didn't use the mandarin oranges. We used the Hallabong orange.
It's Hallabong.
Hallabong's not as sweet.
Ah.
It's still a mandarin. It's still considered a mandarin hybrid orange, but it's much more. It's much more blood orange than mandarin orange.
Why are we making ones that I can't drink?
Because that's what we had.
So are you happy with that?
That's about where I think it's going to need to get. So now we're going to have to math again. Because if there's, I'm going to say maybe about 2 liters guesstimation here. Because 2 liters is a round number that makes the math easier. Right, we needed 20% by water. So if this is 2 liters, which is 2,000 liters, then we need 200 milliliters.
Wonder if
of
it would
water.
taste better cold.
It might.
And that's all the water we're going to need for that amount of alcohol?
If my kakalaki brain...
Exactly. So don't beat the messenger here. Our kakalaki brain may not be accurate.
20%, not 10%. I'm going to need 400, so I need 2 of these.
Are you pouring all of that directly into here? Or are you going to measure that out so we know exactly what we have?
We'll measure it out so we got...
Okay, thank you.
It's a good idea.
Sometimes I have those.
We'll speed this part up.
Is there water making that cloudy?
It's looshing. It's the water. Okay. So, IR stupid.
Told him not to math. Math was not his subject in school.
It really wasn't. So, 400 milliliters is not 20% of 1 liter, it's 20% of 2 liters. So, instead of splitting this between 2 jars, we got to see if we've got a whole 2 liters of alcohol to put in that one. Which fortunately, that's a 3.5 liter jar, so hopefully it'll fit. Okay, now that we've partially recovered from my screw up, we do have almost exactly 2 liters of alcohol mixed in here with water, so we're floating at right about 95 proof.
I would put your orange in here.
What did we come up with?
You said 70 when you had 200 milliliters.
70 at 200, which means I'm since 700. I don't think I've got quite that much. I might have to cook some more down tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see what we got and see what it does. You never know, letting it sit for a day too before adding more might actually help it.
I know it hurts to throw something that you know is going to make it cloudy in a clear moonshine, but well, we've got just about enough to hit the 500 mil mark. So let's see where we were at in the mix. Did we make it to the sour orange or past? We're just on the back end of the sour orange.
It's not terrible though. So it may just need just a little bit more orange, or it may just need a night to sit.
Yeah. So we're going to go with possibly not our best execution. Doing moonshine with citrus is difficult.
We knew before we got into this that doing moonshine with citrus was going to be difficult. There was no doubt before we got in.
You want to do that thing where you take like a coffee filter and put it over the thing and leave it open for a night, see if it...
Might get a little bitey off of it.
I don't know if we have any rubber bands that we can put on it, but...
Probably.
So, we're going to let this get a little bit of air for tonight. Hopefully that'll take some of the bite out. If not, may have to get another one of these to cook down and add some more to it.
We're going to let it breathe tonight.
Yeah. So, while it might not be our best execution, we did get it all the way in. We do have something drinkable. We know we can add a little more orange to it and smooth it out a little more.
We also know if we add like sweet Italian creamer or vanilla creamer, we'll give you like a creamsicle type of drink.
And that might actually help with
we
something
also
that's
know
bitey.
that we haven't tried it cold, so it could actually be better cold. Sometimes, like my mom said when she used to make wine, the wine the first day maybe not so good.
Well, wine does need to age.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
but
about
also
wine.
brandies and alcohols like this do occasionally need, when you're adding flavor, a little bit of time to sit in the flavor and soak that flavor in. So for now, we're going to let this sit overnight and
Then we'll cap it and...
let it sit for a little while, and then we'll make a decision.
Yeah.
I think give it at least a week to let it sit,
So,
and then decide whether or not it needs more orange or it needs something with it, maybe a sugar or something.
so if anybody cares to follow, we'll come back in a couple weeks and put like an update in the notes or in the the description.
We can do a
or-
quick little video update. Check our Instagram or our Facebook. There'll be a quick update there.
Okay, we can do that too. But so we're gonna clean up and go get some dinner or go find some dinner because we're hungry.
Yeah, he made me do this with no food. I must really like you.
God knows why.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. But he's mine. Also, happy birthday to Minion and Mayhem!
Yes, the dog's birthday is today. Minion and Mayhem are now 11.
They're 11s, and Suki's like, I'm old, I'm 14. I did that in February. So we will be videoing a cute little video. Be on the lookout for it, where the
dog's birthday.
The dogs are getting
Ramen. We found ramen for dogs.
We found ramen for dogs and makgeolli for dogs, which is rice wine. I think this is doggy wine.
Yeah.
This is a dog wine.
There's a pet store that sells some of this bougie dog crap, so we decided we'd give them some for their birthday.
Yeah, we figured for their birthday, we might as well let them get lit. Doggy lit. They are moonshining dogs after all. I mean, come on.
Anyway, like, subscribe, do the internet stuff.
Look for that future video.
See the buy us a coffee link below so we can buy the dogs more ramen. We'll see y'all around next time.
Bye.